When you take a statin drug to reduce cholesterol, it can also deplete your CoQ10 levels. I recommend Cunol CoQ10 to help restore this important heart health nutrient. Cunol is the brand I recommend considering along with your statin medication. It can also deplete your CoQ10.
Yeah? Who's Peter?
Well, sweetie, he's your great-great-grandfather. Here, does he look like me?
Yeah.
Your family's story is waiting to be shared at Ancestry.com.
Duolingo is the free, fun, and effective way to learn a language. With over 35 languages and interactive bite-sized lessons that keep you motivated, Duolingo is the world's #1 language learning app. Download Duolingo and start learning a language today.
We're excited to do business with you, but before we sign, I gotta ask.
Sure, anything.
We searched you online, and maybe you can explain this?
Can't believe that garbage is still coming in. That is so false.
Frustrated with your online search results? Call Reputation Defender today to join tens of thousands who've improved their online reputation. Get your free reputation report card at reputationdefender.com or call 1-877-866-8555.
Hi, I'm John Fiorentino, inventor of the Moon Pod, the most comfortable beanbag on the planet. The first beanbag was created in 1969, and it was just a clump of cheap foam stuffed inside of a shapeless cloth. So about 50 years later, I reinvented the beanbag. Moon Pod uses zero-gravity custom bead technology that instantly adapts to your individual body shape. With its 3 dynamic relaxation positions, Moon Pod is unlike anything you've ever felt before. So join us today and experience Moon Pod, the most comfortable place in the universe.
These guys were pumped about America's values of tolerance, so I knew they'd pass Trump's test with flying colors. Can a woman be president?
The presidency is a man's job.
I have women are qualified to be president.
No. A female has more hormones. She could start a war in 10 seconds. If she has hot flashes, whatever, boom.
Haven't all wars been started by men?
Yes.
Over the last few years, Jordan Klepper has become pretty well known for his Daily Show segments where he goes out and talks to Trump supporters at those kinds of events. He and his team have put together some of the smartest and, frankly, some of the most honest election coverage on television. It was always a bit funny, not funny, because we were watching the lies turn to delusions, which, of course, turned into horrifying action on January 6th. Klepper was there at the Trump rally and marched to the Capitol, and he filed one last Daily Show report.
The one thing you couldn't help but notice was just how many people looked like they were preparing for battle.
So we've been following this protest, and we headed to the Capitol, and the Trump supporters just broke through the gates, and they're now heading into the Capitol right now. Are you looking to make an aggressive action right now?
Yeah, I'm looking to make a statement.
What's your statement?
The election was stolen. We want free and fair elections. And if we can't have that in this country, we don't have anything.
So what do you plan on doing?
We're just going to see how it unfolds.
You're going to see how it unfolds. All right. Good luck with the PayPal tournament.
Joining me now is Jordan Klepper, contributor of The Daily Show with Trevor Noah. Jordan, what was it like generally there that day?
It was tense from the get-go. Like as we kind of approached the day, you saw a lot of soldier cosplay wherever you went. People were dressing the part, and at a Trump rally, people often dress the part. You could say the writing was on the wall, or at least on the flags and on the T-shirts, and it has been for months. But that day was very tense, and you started to feel that post-election. I went to a few of these rallies, and before the election, there was some combative energies there. But once Donald Trump was not declared victorious in the eyes of the mainstream media, folks were upset. They were looking to start a fight. They were looking to get that win they were promised. And you felt that there that day, something could go down.
We're showing video there of someone. It's sort of this perfect combination of like prankish and immature and also like actually violent, which is that someone came behind your cameraman and basically like intentionally tripped him.
Yes, we were doing an interview, and somebody dressed as a soldier came behind, got down on all fours, so our cameraman fell up, fell upon onto the ground, and then the guy jumped up and claimed that we had pushed him, which was sort of perfect. It does feel like it's a lot of people pretending to be big, tough soldiers who then claim victimhood even when they have no right to do so.
What we saw lots of footage of folks. I mean, obviously this has become part of the cult rituals of Trump rallies where they jeer at the press pen. It's almost weirdly sacramental, like it's part of the thing. You do it, and then everyone knows that's the part of the service where you jeer at the press pen and look at the cameras, that stuff. But we saw people assaulting reporters. We saw them breaking camera equipment, stuff like that. What was and yet at the same time, all these people are so obsessed with getting themselves on social media. There's a very weird sort of twisted kind of attention-seeking happening here. What were people's attitudes towards you and your camera?
I mean, there's a constant push and pull whenever we're there. We're always the bad guys. We're being called fake news, and Daily Show was sort of the original fake news. So they're right about that.
Right.
However, when I approach people, people still want to be on television. They want to make their point heard. And again, this last rally was no different in that sense. People wanted to engage. They wanted to talk. However, there are thousands and thousands of other people around them. And so where things get dangerous is people start milling about and they start looking for trouble. People wanted to start something there. Often these things are also not poorly organized. They often are run by an organization that has ties to, say, Donald Trump, who's not known to be the most organized fellow, which means there's a lot of people who can't hear what's going on. So you have thousands of people who can't hear what's going on, who are milling about looking for a shiny object, and oftentimes a 6'4" giraffe-looking guy who's talking logic to somebody else is that shiny object.
When they start the approach, when they knock down that barrier, are you thinking at that point? I mean, I think a lot of people were surprised, right, to see those images. Like, holy crap, they are in the Capitol. They've broken through the windows. What is going through your mind? What are you thinking about where this is going when you have that energy and you watch them breaking through barricades?
Well, there's no surprise that they were going to go towards the Capitol to try to do some sort of action. In fact, that's why we were there at the Capitol when they broke through the barricades, because we planned that out at the beginning of the day. It was like there was going to be this conversation. Donald Trump would talk to folks outside the White House, and then before 1 o'clock, they would head to the Capitol. So we knew people were coming. We saw the Proud Boys come by. We saw a whole phalanx of folks head that way. We were utterly surprised at how easy it was for people to get through. And now, at that point, if you had asked me what's going to happen, I imagine people would just be milling about outside the Capitol. We had security there. It turns out we had more security than Capitol Hill had security. So when the images and the stories of people actually breaking through came on our screens at that point, it was completely shocking. It hadn't crossed our minds that there wasn't preparation for what seemed inevitable for everybody I talked to.
Having gone to a bunch of these events and having talked to folks there, did it feel like there was something different here, or a kind of a trajectory that built towards this moment?
I mean, I think it's always been, the talk has always been there. Everybody's been talking about this moment of revolution. They've been called patriots for years. They've been looking for that one cause, that one thing to push against. So it has been building and bubbling. They just didn't know where to put that energy. More often than not, it was an airplane hangar in the middle of Pennsylvania. But now you bring everybody onto the mall. It's a beautiful backdrop, and somebody points to the Capitol and says, go. And so, there were pitchforks. I talked to a guy with a pitchfork. Other people are waving flags that say, come and take it, with images of guns everywhere. Like, the energy was there. The costumes have been bought for years. Like, they've been sartorially prepping for this moment since 2016. Somebody finally said go, and then it happened.
There's a president, among others, who said go, Jordan Klepper of The Daily Show, which is back with new episodes this week. Thank you so much for making time tonight. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Chris.
Still to come, we are still expecting the president to announce a wave of pardons in these last few hours of his presidency. George Conway on what comes next after this.
It's either the assurance of a 165-point certification process, or it isn't. It's either testing an array of advanced safety systems, or it isn't. It's either the peace of mind of a standard unlimited mileage warranty, or it isn't. For those who never settle, it's either Mercedes-Benz certified pre-owned, or it isn't. The Mercedes-Benz Certified Pre-Owned Sales event now through March 1st. Shop online or drop by your local dealer today.
CoQ10 is the #1 cardiologist-recommended heart health supplement for people taking cholesterol-lowering statin drugs. I recommend Cunol CoQ10 because it has 3 times...
It's impossible to get them out of it. But don't worry, you don't have to share because there's an X chair for everyone. And you can get $100 off any model on our website. Your new normal? Incredibly comfortable. Call or click to order today and receive a 30-day risk-free trial and $100 off.